everyone. In this video I will review the ISU-152K Tier 8 Russian Premium Tank Destroyer. I will review the weak spots, the stats with configuration and armor profile at the end of the video. First of all, this tank is the same as the ISU-152 from the Tech 3. The only difference is that this tank has worse stats. So let's get started with the weak spots now. Here we have the driver, which means if you pan through the lower plate here, you will most likely eliminate the driver, obviously. Let's go now to the left side of the tank in the turret here. We have a fuel tank indicator because they used to store a fuel tank next to the driver here. So that's why we have a fuel tank storage indicator. So if you pan through here, you can set the tank on fire. Next to the back, we have the gunner in the turret here and the loader here, and obviously our compartment at the back of the turret. In the hall, we have obviously the engine at the back. To the rear side, we have the engine and the engine bay here. Let's go now to the right side of the tank. In the turret here, we have ammo rack compartment here with the loader because this tank has two loaders, one from one side to the right side and one from the other side. And here and in the front, we have the commander below the cupola here. As you can see, we have fuel tank storage in the front of the tank also, so this is very interesting. We have fuel tank storage here, the same configuration layout as Russian tanks has in the lower plate and upper plate here, fuel tank from the front and from the side, and this means we have an extra fuel tank storage can next to the driver, which they used to did in the real life in the tank. So that's why we have fuel tank here, extra storage here, and at the back fuel tank again here, obviously, and we have our engine. So this configuration is very complex, as you can see. Let's go now and check the stats of this tank. Here we have a 152mm caliber gun with 750 alpha damage and 950 HE. As the penetration goes, AP penetration 286, really high, APCR 329, even higher, and HE 90 millimeters, which is amazing. These penetration values are really amazing. So this tank has 5 degree of gun depression, which is bad for any tank. The gun traverse limits from the left and from the right side is 10 degree, which is actually good, not that limited. We have a lot of gun traverse. The DPM is 2470, actually is good, but which means we have 18.2 sec reload for a 750 of damage, which is not that bad. This DPM is not bad for a tier 8 tank, not bad. But the next thing comes with this gun, which has dispersion at 0.41 and aim time with 3.36. This dispersion means that the tank will miss even in fully aimed stationary situation, and the aim time is really long, 3.36. So horrible stats for the gun accuracy and aim time. That's the bad side of this tank. HP 1200 or more. We will check at the end of the video, but this tank doesn't have any usable and good armor. The tank weighs in 47 tons with 600 horsepower. The tank actually go with 40 kilometers per hour all the time, but in soft terrain will go only with 23 kilometers per hour. So depends from the terrain type. But the tank accelerates slow. The concealment 235, which is acceptable. The view range is 350, bad view range for this tier 8 tank destroyer, bad view range. Let's go now and configure this tank. So, as the field modification, this at max level, this to have better view range, but it will decrease our concealment, so maybe let's not use this, but instead this to have to maintain our speed to go with 40 kilometers per hour if it's possible all the time. So only this modification I will select. But now let's select all the good cruise gears what we can have here, this, and with the extra combat ratio. The first slot is we have here as firepower, which means we can select the gun rammer, but I will select this improved rotation mechanism because the tank gun is actually just tragic. We have here scouting or survivability. I will select survivability for the ventilation, obviously. And in the third slot, I will select this enhanced gun laying drive because we need these tunings to have better manageable gun. So as the AP shell goes, obviously actually slow 880 shell versus speed. It's not fast for an AP shell. The penetration is 286, which is amazing. APCR shell has 1100 shell versus speed fast with 329 penetration, which is amazing. And the HE shell is actually same speed as the AP with 90 penetration and 1188 if you high roll and pen. Sounds really amazing. So the DPM is 2700, actually good. Dispersion 0.38. The dispersion is still bad and you will miss a lot in stationary position. Aim time 2.79. This is still long, but what we can't do anything to decrease it. The loading speed is 16.6 sec for 750 alpha damage, which is acceptable. We have good stabilization and reduced dispersion the to get the most out of this bad gun. Obviously, concealment 544 actually is an entry level TD camo. You can do a lot of things with it, but it's not amazing. So obviously, if you shoot, you will get spotted. You have to pull back. But the camo value is actually good entry level. The view range is 405. Actually, it's not that bad, like 350, what we had as base. So yeah, let's go now and check the armor profile of this tank. So the tank doesn't have in the lower plate around 100, here 96, 90, around 100 from the front. So maybe it will be useful against tier 6 tanks, tier 6 and 7 tanks. But other than that, just yeah, not 170 at the gunman set. Just won't hold up against tier 8 tank. From the side, 76, 7. You have to be careful against the HE shells here. At the rear, 80, 160, so really vulnerable for the HE shells. Other side, as you can see, 80, the gunman's at 60, so be careful against the HE shells. Again, here the gunman's at here, same 60, big weak spots from the side, obviously. And yeah, this tank is obviously a TD, so we don't have any camo, any protection, but against tier 6 maybe. So the conclusion, the tank has a bad gun, but the only good thing is about this tank is the APCR shell with 329 millimeters of penetration and 1100 shell speed. Other than that, and the big 750 alpha damage. Other than that, the tank has, you will miss a lot, bad aim time, slow, sluggish tank, and yeah, actually, let's say the camo value is acceptable, but yeah, the only good thing is the APCR shells, and that's it. So yes, thank you guys for watching, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.